What if one act of kindness with your last dime could summon an army of roaring Harleys to your rescue, turning a life of scraps into a brotherhood forged in thunder? In a world where America's homeless crisis hits 600,000 souls and the UK's streets echo with similar despair, this tale of grit, loyalty, and payback will grip your heart. USA or UK, if you crave real-life miracles amid the madness, smash that subscribe button now for more soul-stirring stories that hit home. Subscribe today and ride along. In the gritty underbelly of Chicago's South Side, where the wind off Lake Michigan cut like a switchblade through threadbare coats and the neon signs of dive bars flickered like dying hopes, lived Tommy Riley, a homeless vet who'd seen better days, or at least days with a roof and a purpose. At 58, with a salt and pepper beard matted from too many nights under bridges and eyes that held the ghosts of Fallujah, Tommy scraped by on odd jobs and the occasional VA handout, his worldly possessions stuffed in a tattered army duffel, a faded photo of his late wife, a dog-eared Bible, and exactly $8 in crumpled bills he'd panhandled that morning outside a greasy spoon diner. The streets were his kingdom of cardboard and caution, where trust was a luxury he couldn't afford, but on that bone-chilling autumn afternoon in 2019, fate dealt him a different hand when a massive Harley-Davidson sputtered to a halt in the alley behind the shelter, its chrome gleaming defiantly against the rust and rubbish. The rider, a hulking figure named Rocco, Iron Fist, Malone, president of the Chicago chapter of the Hells Angels, slumped over the handlebars, his leather vest patched with skulls and eagles stained with what looked like engine oil, or worse, blood from a fresh knife wound peeking through a tear in his shirt. Rocco, a legend in the biker underworld with a rap sheet longer than Route 66 and a reputation for enforcing club rules with brass knuckles, had been jumped by rival gang members over a turf war gone sour, his bike coughing its last as the fuel line ruptured in the scuffle. Tommy, rummaging through a dumpster for cans, heard the groan and froze, instinct from his Marine days kicking in. "Hey, mister, you all right?" he called, approaching cautiously, his hands up like surrendering to an enemy combatant. Rocco lifted his head, his tattooed face twisted in pain, eyes narrowing at the bum before him. "Bike's done. Need a tow or something?" "Got cash." Tommy glanced at the mangled fuel line, remembered his mechanic training from the service, and without a second thought, pulled out his $8. "Ain't much, but there's a parts shop 2 blocks down. I can fix this quick. Buy the hose clamp you need." "Consider it neighborly." Rocco barked a laugh that turned into a cough, but desperation won out. In the biker code, help was help, even from a street rat. Tommy jogged off, spending his last bucks on the clamp and a length of hose, returning to patch the line with grimy hands that knew engines like old friends. The Harley roared back to life, and Rocco, clasping Tommy's shoulder with a grip like iron, muttered, "You got balls, old timer." "Name's Rocco. What's yours?" "Tommy." "Just Tommy." The biker nodded, revved away with a promise, "I owe ya." Hell's Angels don't forget. Days blurred into weeks for Tommy, back to the grind of soup kitchens and shelter lines, the kindness fading like a distant echo amid hunger pangs and frostbite threats. He crashed in an abandoned warehouse, dreaming of warmer times, until one thunderous evening when the ground shook like an earthquake, the roar of 300 motorcycles converging on the derelict street outside his doorstep, a sea of chrome and leather under the streetlights, engines idling like angry beasts. Leading the pack was Rocco, bandaged but beaming, flanked by chapter presidents from across the Midwest, their vests a patchwork of colors representing clubs from the outlaws to independents who'd heard the tale. Word had spread through the grapevine. A homeless vet saved their prez with his last cent, no questions asked. "Tommy Riley," Rocco bellowed over the din, dismounting to embrace the stunned man emerging from the shadows. "Brothers, this is the guy who pulled me out of the fire. Today, we ride for him." What followed was a whirlwind twist on charity. The bikers, known for their fierce loyalty and outlaw mystique, transformed Tommy's world overnight. They cleared the warehouse, turning it into a temporary HQ with generators humming and grills sizzling steaks, real food, not slop. But the real shock, Rocco revealed Tommy's act had saved more than his bike. The rivals were gunning for a hit, and the delay gave club enforcers time to ambush them instead, averting a bloody war. In gratitude, they pooled resources. A furnished apartment in a club-safe building, a job at their auto shop wrenching on Harleys, and a custom vest dubbing him an honorary angel. Tommy wept, the tough vet cracking like never before, bonds forming over beers and war stories, his Iraq tales mirroring their street battles. Yet twists lurked in the shadows. As Tommy settled in, he discovered Rocco's wound hid a deeper secret, a botched heist where club funds were skimmed by a traitor within, and Tommy's $8 fix unwittingly provided an alibi that exposed the rat. Paranoia gripped the group. Rivals infiltrated, leading to a high-stakes chase through Chicago's highways, Tommy riding shotgun on Rocco's bike, his military skills shining in a roadside ambush where he disarmed a foe with a wrench. Romance even sparked. A tough biker chick named Lena, with fiery red hair and a heart scarred by loss, saw past his rags to the hero beneath, their nights whispering dreams amid the rumble. But the biggest revelation, Tommy's late wife was Rocco's long-lost aunt, a family tie uncovered in old photos, making him blood. The bikers rallied Fuller, funding a veterans outreach in his name, turning scarcity into legacy. From $8 to a family of 300 strong, Tommy's door became a gateway to redemption, proving kindness echoes loudest on the open road.